that day when they walk into the office, everyone sits down, I was so like the most nervous I've ever been in my life.
Hey guys, and welcome to Spicy Takes. This is the show where we talk to entrepreneurs and business owners, decision makers, people who've really forged their way through business, and we're going to ask them some really spicy questions. So today I'm joined by Pete Matheson.
Thank you very much.
Pete, if you don't know Pete, he's an absolute legend, but he's done what most people just dream about. As an IT expert, as a tech specialist, he made that decision to set up his own business, go it alone, and then build, scale, and sell that business for, untold riches, I'm sure. But along that way, he learned a huge amount. And so what we're gonna do today is just have a great chat with him and figure out, what was that journey like? But first, I have to ask you, how are you with spicy food?
Yeah. Not good.
Great, okay. I imagine if this was a chocolate challenge, you'd be in your element.
It, absolutely.
Yeah? Have you done anything to like mentally prepare for today?
No.
No?
I'm very much just crack on with it. I really wanted to try and run a marathon without actually practicing for a marathon. I'm that kind of guy.
Cool. All right, well, let's get into it. Yeah, let's do this. Cool, so Pete, let's just wind back, right, to the start of your career, okay? So you did a BTech in sound engineering, as I read today.
Indeed.
Yeah. So you didn't even kind of start in IT, but definitely a technology thing. Now out of there, you spun out into your first job, like as an IT engineer at a school. I'm guessing around 18?
Done your homework, blimey, okay, yep.
Yeah. Oh,
that's about right.
Some top quality LinkedIn stalking. But yeah, about 18, 19, you take that first job as an IT engineer. You then moved into more of like an IT business, an actual IT provider.
Yeah.
And then just after that, you took a move into what is a well-regarded IT services company, right? And you were there for quite a while.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Now, at some point along that journey, you kind of decided, you know what? I think I can do something different. Something obviously changed in you that made you think I can do something different.
Did.
Tell me a bit about that.
Well, I always joined the, so it was TaylorMade I joined, TaylorMade Computer Solutions. I joined them always thinking I would start my own business.
Okay.
Joined them, kind of then realized they had it all figured out. They kind of fixed all the problems. So I then changed to, I don't need to sell, I don't need to start a business, I'm just going to kind of work here for the rest of my life. And then the more you work there, obviously they have their own plans, the business grows, they become more corporate, they take on bigger clients. And then there was just that kind of, the gap in the market. Everyone sees the gap in the market to start a business. So I kind of saw that gap and went, actually, there's someone that could still start a business and look after those smaller clients and smaller businesses, local businesses. So I kind of jumped at the chance and that was that.
And all right, let's not put this off any longer. Let's try one of these. Come on, this is number one.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's really nice. That's kind of fruity.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Helps when I'm hungry.
Now, I just want to ask, at any stage, was like the academic track ever a thought for you? Because you went straight from kind of college. Did you ever think about university or doing anything like that? Or was that just not you?
Never ever university. I started out thinking I was going to be a rock star.
Okay.
Not quite, but in the music industry.
Yeah. Lights,
sounds. Playing music was like my passion at the time, so that would have been incredible. But couldn't really plan around making it famous or anything. So no, never really kind of planned to do that. I just fell into the whole IT thing.
Okay.
I think it was a friend of my mum's who was working in a school. They needed an IT guy, and I was like, yeah, why not? I'll give it a go. And I remember having my interview for them, and they were like, we've got servers over here, we've got stuff, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what's a server?
Okay.
And they still gave me the job, so must have done something right.
Must have had an honest face. All right, let's go.
Cool.
Wing number 2. So this is garlic and pepperoncini.
Interesting.
Oh, that's lovely. This is
So
really
that's nicer
good.
than the first one.
Yeah. Okay, so it's 2011 now, and Tekkas IT has been formed, right? And
Indeed.
I mean, I guess first question is, what the hell made you think that you could run a business? Because like I think about the Michael Gerber book, The E-Myth Revisited.
Yeah.
You must know this, right? Then for me, you're a technical specialist and you're going to move to like a business owner. What gave you the confidence to think that you could do this and it was going to work?
So you never really think of any of the other stuff. You just kind of go, hey, I'm good at fixing stuff. I can fix stuff for myself, for other people. So that's all you do. And then it's not too bad when you first start out, I think, because it is very much about the fixing stuff. It's very little about running the business because there is no business. But then as you grow, you take on staff, then it becomes more about running the business, which is more challenging. But initially, I mean, my plan was start a business, try and pick up a few clients, and hey, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to go contracting. That's the easy saving grace because you're a technical guy. Just go and contract and probably get paid reasonably well for it at the time.
Yeah. But this, I mean, this was like literally it was you and was it Erica at this stage as well? Did you both kind of start this
Not
business?
Erica. So it was, when we started together, so we were together, we met at my last company, so we met at TaylorMade.
Okay.
So we've always weirdly worked together, literally like worked together, ran a company together, sold a business together. It's really bizarre. But so she was working for a training company, so she worked in like the training division. We started the business with myself and we literally sat down and planned everything, like all your finances, how much your outgoings are. Literally doing like food shops with like a calculator every week. It was that kind of, we're trying to really, really keep things tight. And then, just over time, we're getting the work in. And I think Erica was our third, fourth person possibly. So she wasn't even the first person we employed. It was kind of one of those, and she would help in the evenings and weekends. She'd be accounts and chasing clients. But the first staff you get, you're probably technical guys or like marketing or sales guys or something, and accounts is one of the last things you really think of. As long as you get the money in, and then it's kind of okay, and then it becomes stressful because you've got more to deal with, so you need to outsource it. So it's a fun journey.
But I think, like you mentioned earlier, like your love of music and maybe the route to a rock band and and that kind of thing. Now you actually had to move your instruments out of the way, right, in the living room to make room for desks. You literally sort of took your living room. You moved like your drum kit and piano, moved these out the way and set up some desks because that's where Tekkas was born. It was born in the living room.
Arse end of my living room. But it's interesting because when I interviewed for TaylorMade, I remember sitting there in the interview going, I might not need this job much longer because at the time we were talking to like a bookings agent and the only people they dealt with was Sony Music. So we're like, we've made it. We're going to sign. We're going to like become rich and famous, like all that kind of all the dreams. And we went up to Bath. There's like this office in Bath to meet the owner of the company, and it was like sat there with gold chains around him, like talk about my boys and all of his like lads all around him. Toilet gold plated like handles, like it was insane. And we went back and forth a few times, had some contracts. And then we just decided not to. And then that's when we were like, okay, well, I do need your job. So, but it was really nice that I literally interviewed and said, yeah, I'm not sure if I need to work here much longer. They were like, don't care. As long as you come here, do good work whilst you're here, we don't mind. It's like, awesome, good company. And that's kind of what then reiterated I don't need to go anywhere else. I'm going to just stay here now because they're a really great company.
Yeah.
The guy that interviewed me was like, I think it was socks and sandals, maybe. He's like shorts, socks and sandals. And this is me coming from like a corporate, school environment where everything's really strict.
Yeah.
Going like, socks, sandals, like shorts, like this is an awesome company.
Yeah, just really kind of modern tech feel, and that's
exactly. I mean, they were still smart and like dressed up, but it's just smart, but just normal people. I find
it's awesome.
My kind of people. And then the music stuff. So we had like I was still into my music. I had a baby grand piano. Had I think it was electric. No, I had a real drum kit in the back of the living room, and love my music. Really need to get back into it now, but with COVID, it's been impossible. But I mean, you start a business, you kind of want to focus on that. So we got shipped everything out, moved the desks in. I think one of my first purchases was investing in gear to build like a hosted desktop service. So we had like some NetApp SANs, like dual servers, dual routers, like everything was being built out. And I just never got to it. So I'd invested a ton of money into this gear and then just got so busy with the business stuff that I just never actually got around. Literally, it took us, I don't think did we ever get off the ground? We got it off the ground when Microsoft introduced VDI. We didn't have to worry about it at all.
Perfect time.
Like 8 years later.
Did all that kit sit in the living room as well, or did you
the kit was in the living room for maybe a year or so. Oh, I remember I had there was a local accountant we spoke to, and he was like, my nephew would love to get into IT, like come and do some work experience for you. And he came to work with me for a bit, and I remember, and this is, I'm not a boss, I don't know how to talk to people, and I was like, that is very expensive, so just be very, very careful because, well, if you break it, you're going to have to pay for it. And he's like, how much is it? Like £5,000. And he just froze and was just like, oh, okay. And then I don't think he came back after then. Yeah, just lessons learned from to manage people. It was fun.
That's awesome. Right, shall we?
Indeed.
That's it. This is Devil's Blend Hellfire.
Sounds good.
Let's go. Oh, that's starting to get spicy. I'm worried because that's number 3, and it's starting to get spicy.
It's got a kick. You regretting your jeans decision yet?
It's a little warm in here. I really wish I'd have thought about shorts. Cool. So did you take on any funding to get the business started? Did you guys bootstrap this?
So we never used any funding. We had a bit of savings. We had a few kind of clients lined up before we left, like the last business.
Okay.
So I knew I had, it was like 2 months worth of income. It was like $2,000 or $4,000, which for our limited budget at the time was enough to keep going.
Yeah.
No kids. There was like minimal mortgage. It was okay. And I think I think my parents gave us some like $5,000 as a bit of a, here's the money if you need it kind of thing. It's just there in the background, which we never touched. And actually we got to the point where we were going to pay them back and we got engaged and they just said, I'll just keep it and then you can use that towards the wedding. It's like, awesome, okay. But yeah, no funding. And that's what I'm probably one of the most proudest things is no funding, always made a profit, always paid our staff, /me, for the first year.
Yeah.
And just never really had a down year overall. We say obviously you have your ups and downs, but pretty consistent, just steady growth. I think there was 1 year where we kind of did the same turnover as the last year, which was like I could have done a bit better.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's me all over. My wife would say, everything I do is just like, could do a bit better next time. It's like, hey, it kind of seems to work.
But this is quite cool. So if I think about the timeline here, you've not just met, but you've recently met Erica. You guys aren't married yet. There's no kids, no family.
She moved in very quickly.
But you've obviously found a great partner here because you've gone on obviously the marriage, the kids, the family, the business.
Absolutely.
But you obviously kind of just gelled really quickly and just went, yeah, do you know what? We're going to start this business. This is a huge risk, right?
Yep.
And I mean, I think that's just incredible. I like
I remember the worry on my parents' face when I said I was going to hand my notice in. It's brilliant.
So you're going to go away from a job that pays you money to do.
Oh, it wasn't that. It was the Mum, I've handed my notice in. It's like, what? Brilliant. Because I know she's a warrior. My mum's a warrior, so I never really. I tell her after the fact. Normally, it's we're going to go on holiday, and we're going to come back, and you're going to have bought a house. Actually, I think I did that once. That might be why. It might be the second time around. That's why that story came out. Yeah.
But I think maybe you've given her reason.
Possibly. Yeah, quite possibly. But I think with the whole meeting Erica at work, we got on so well, and we're kind of used to working with each other already, and we very much kind of fill each other where strengths and weaknesses and things.
Yeah.
I'm very forgetful. She's very thoughtful and remembers things, and it just works. To this date, we have not had a single argument, which lots of people can't believe. We've not literally had a single argument for 8 years have we been married, I think. I think it's our 8th wedding anniversary this year. I'll get told off for that.
Oh, she's the one that remembers things. So.
Exactly. Exactly that. I'll have to look at my phone. It will tell me on there.
You've already admitted your weaknesses. This is cool.
There we go. but no arguments at all. Great sounding board for the business stuff. Great to have some other opinion. My dad was amazing, is amazing for business advice as well. Just kind of seeing how he did things before. He didn't run his business, but he was dealing with, I think he was a photocopier salesman.
Okay.
And then he went on to selling connectivity into public schools. Oh. So one of his, I think it was one of the last deals he did was selling £1 million or multi-billion pounds lease line connectivity agreements to multiple schools.
Oh wow, okay.
So he kind of got that deal in, got the commission from it, and then ran at that point. But yeah, always great to have a sounding board. And then later down the line, we had another director who joined the company again. Just fantastic to have another idea to bounce ideas off of, another guy to bounce ideas off of.
Really it's so important just to have that support network of people that can
massively,
just keep you straight and true, and help you just with some of those decisions.
Because no one, we don't know what we're doing with running businesses. No one has a clue. We're just making it up as we go along.
It's like parenting,
so,
right?
Yeah, exactly like that. Actually, it's very, very similar because you can't really talk to people about running a business unless they've got a business themselves because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
I think some of my friends I speak to, they're like, with like taxes and like VAT and all that thing. Yeah, but the business pays that. It's fine, isn't it? It's like, yeah, but who earns the money in the business to then pay for it? It's still technically my money because I'm earning the money to then pay for it. It just doesn't work for some people.
Right. Let's
Cool.
dig in. This is the, what is this? The Barbados style hot sauce.
Sounds good.
Let's go. I think we're going to make it. Yeah, I think we're going to make it.
I'm gonna make it.
It's going to be okay. So look, at some point, I know we're going to touch on how you fell in love with like content marketing, and I think about like Marcus Sheridan, they ask, you answer, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I met him once, he's a great guy. But were there any moments like when you set off with Tekkas where right at the beginning you thought this might fail?
Every day, pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Like you just don't know where your next like client's going to come from. It's that whole like you need to grow the business, but you haven't got the money to grow the business. But then you need the clients on board, and you don't want to spend the money because you didn't know if the client's going to come. And it's just a bit of never ending. It's a lot of faith and hope, and you just wish it's all going to kind of work. But yeah, constantly, and I think that just makes you work harder. You know, if you haven't got the money coming in, and also trying to reduce your outgoings, you can save an awful lot of money nowadays. Just like cut off all your subscriptions. You don't need your Netflix or your Spotify's, like anything like that. You know, bare bones basics is like mortgage, utilities, food. That's it. That's all you need. So it was very much for the first 6 months of the year. It was really, really trying to stay careful with everything we were doing. And then you bring on the customers and it starts getting a bit easier because then you're like, hey. And the nice thing about running an IT company is it's all recurring revenue.
Yeah.
Predominantly recurring revenue. So you sign up a client, sign up another couple of clients, well, that pays for another member of staff, and you can just kind of grow it through there. So much so that you want to pay for all your stuff in monthly payments as well, because monthly in, monthly out.
Yeah.
And I think at the time, certainly at the time when we were starting, things like accountancy firms didn't work on monthly rates. It was just like, corporation tax return. It's going to be like £1,000 a year. It's like, great, can I pay monthly? Oh.
Well, I want to ask you, so you grew Tekkas for like 10 years, 9 years, 10 years, and it seems like, and I think I've heard you talk about this before, it seems like you just had this light bulb moment one day, and you just kind of went to yourself, I don't think I want to do this every day anymore. But you were really forward thinking, and so much from the outside, so much action and love and care had gone into growing it, and at some point you just kind of went, this isn't what I want to do every day anymore. So just tell me about it. Just tell me what went into that process.
The number, which we didn't have a number.
Okay.
The number that's going to make you sell.
Yeah.
We didn't have one. And then everyone has those moments where they come home, you've had a crap week, staff have been difficult, customers have been difficult, just everything's kind of going wrong. And I think I'd been away in Barcelona and Canales, which is like two MSP industry events. And it was really, really good fun, really nice to get out of the office and kind of away from everything. And then came back, and it was just, you come back to like reality, and you're like, you have one of those down days, and it was just something was different that time, because we did go, should we sell?
Yeah.
And then you kind of go, well, should we? Well, how much would we need to make it worthwhile to sell? And so we sat down, we worked out what the number was, and figure out, what's that number that's going to make you sell? You can pay off the mortgage, get a few years with the kids and everything. And we came up with a number and went, okay, cool, that's a good number. Now what? And what do you do next? Well, you've got to kind of try and sell the business to see if you can get that number.
Yeah.
So we posted an anonymous, essentially it was online dating, an anonymous question in an online forum to say, we're thinking of selling, it's roughly this turnover, roughly this profit. Would anyone be interested? And then that just kicked everything off. There were people that were interested. The offers that came through were above the number we'd written down. So we're like, okay, well, I guess we're selling the business because it's now more than we said it would be. And if we're going to stick to it's our number, so we're going to sell. So then we just went through the whole process, and it was, very, very quick. I think it literally came from me coming home to us deciding within the next 2 or 3 weeks, to us then finding the buyer within the next kind of few weeks. And spoke to a few other interested parties, and from start to finish, it was probably a 6-month process from us thinking we want to sell till we were out.
Wow.
But also to probably a 3-month from we signed we're selling to we're out.
Wow.
So it was a very quick process.
That's really quick. Cool. Shall we then? Number 5.
Yeah. Halfway.
Los Calientes.
Cheers, cheers.
Let's go. Oh, I took a big mouthful of that sauce. It must have been hard to say goodbye to the team that you'd built when you built Tekkas, because you've made this decision, and it's the right decision for you guys, you know, as a family. It's the right time. But it must have been hard, right? There's so many people that you've loved to work with. You've almost built, and if it's anything like me, you've probably built it like a little family. You really like so many of those guys, and you've taken the decision to leave. So, how was that?
Worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That moment where you, which sounds like, it feels like a sub story though, because you're kind of exiting on you're going off into the sunset essentially when you sell, and then not that they were being left to in the dust or anything, but you just feel like you're letting everyone else down, because you're like, all right guys, I'm off, see you later, I've got all my money, I'm off.
Yeah.
And the pandemic made that worse, because of course 2 weeks later everyone was sent home, so essentially I couldn't then, I couldn't take everyone out for a meal, say thank you, it was literally and go home, now you can't talk to each other.
Yeah, of course.
And I think I dealt with it quite badly, because where we'd sold the business, it's over to these new owners now, and they need to deal with the staff, it's all kind of their little baby now, so I need to kind of let them find their feet. So I kind of just, not cut all ties, but I didn't really check in with anybody.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously the pandemic went on a lot longer than anyone thought, and it was by the time you look around, it's a year later, you haven't spoken to people for a very long time. I did the odd kind of checking in here and there, but yeah, I mean, that day when they walk into the office, everyone sits down, I was so the most nervous I've ever been in my life. I had it written down on a script what I was going to say, because I just couldn't remember anything, and it's horrendous. It's just, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And the whole day was, I felt a bit like damage control on the day, because obviously everyone's shocked.
Yeah.
I think someone said to me that they thought the guys were coming in because we were being shut down because we hadn't paid our tax bills or something. There's the tax auditors coming in. But then you're very much you're trying to re-explain it to individuals. I literally had one-on-ones with pretty much every member of staff. There was tears from both sides. It was just, I mean, one of my friends that I've been friends with since, I think it was kind of uni, not uni days, but he was in the uni crowd. But one of my longtime friends, he worked there. And so I was kind of, again, leaving him behind. Yeah. But it was very much and it was part of the decision of us selling the business. It was the people taking over are, going to treat this the same way that I would treat it. They're going to look after the staff, look after the customers. Essentially, that's all I really cared about. We had bigger offers that were more money, but they were going to look after the business the way I wanted it to be looked after. And then, of course, pandemic happened and everything went out the window anyway.
Well, let's take the next source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Oh, that's...
Okay.
Yep, that's starting to get there. So, let's just flip it around a bit. Oh, that's, oh no, that's all over my lips. Tell me some of your, or just one of your fondest memories of Tekkas. Because we went down there. That was the sad. But tell me just something. When you think back and you think, you know what, we did some amazing or stupid or fun stuff.
I think it's more in the earlier days when there's less staff. There's a bit more time for fun. Not that we didn't have fun when we were a bigger business, but obviously there's a lot more pressure when you're a bigger company. But we had table tennis table, and we could play games. We had this whole thing scoreboards. We'd have a doubles game and stuff. That was probably the best times where you can not work. I guess. I mean, there's loads of them in little micro moments. That's the thing when you're running a business. It's you'll have the best day ever. You win a sale, everyone's happy. Then you'll get a dodgy email, and then you have the worst day ever. And it's just up and down, and certainly in the early days, I think you get to enjoy a little bit more. Yeah. Certainly for my process anyway, I think it's as you're trying to grow a business, there's a lot of stuff going on. Lots of the work for a business owner is to try and delegate stuff straight away. And I think I just held on to stuff quite a lot. But definitely the early days, just fun. We did one of our staff events was we bought tickets to like a Foo Fighters gig.
Oh,
and,
cool.
There was only like 2 or 3 other guys that could. I think it was 2 guys that could come to that gig when there was like 5 of us, which was brilliant fun. Like buy tickets, put it through company expenses, go and I think it was like Milton Keynes Bowl. It was really really good fun. It's great fun when you can start putting stuff through business expenses.
That's good. All right, well let's get on to what is this? Source 7?
Honey Badger.
Whoa.
Oh, I can feel it in my teeth now. I feel like I should put more on, but I really don't want to.
Do it. This is 99,000 Scovilles.
What's 1 Scoville? What?
Do you know, I don't know.
Like a glass of milk? I don't know what the rating is.
It's like a breath of fresh
like
air.
a garlic?
When you accidentally swallow a bug, 1 Scoville.
Gotcha.
Let's go. Go on.
Oh, we're smashing it straight away, are we?
Go on.
Okay.
Let's go. Oh, I'm gonna do it this way.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's okay. Oh.
That's a bit warm.
Whilst you recover. Tell me, so you are officially not a business coach. www.notabusinesscoach.com. This is
Continue.
So, not a business coach, and you are now taking everything that you learned through that journey of Tekkas, and you are bringing this to like the.
Sorry, should I not blow at you?
No, it's fine. Oh, it's like a flamethrower.
Let's go to milk.
He's gone for the milk. It's fine. I'm sweating from everywhere. So, not a business coach. You are now taking all that learning that you've got from the years of running and growing Tekkas, and you are now bringing that to like the next generation of MSPs, IT companies, right? I'm sure there was a question in here somewhere. Don't touch my eyes. How's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Going good.
Yeah.
I fell into it. I never really planned. Again, I said never really planned on doing this at all. There was a couple of people approached me and said, sold your business. Can you help me do the same? I went, yes, brilliant idea. I get to do all the fun stuff, the marketing strategy, all those kind of things.
Oh, you don't have to deal with any of the
none of the customers, none of the staff.
Yeah.
Sounded like a dream job. So I kind of started doing that. Call myself not a business coach because I just don't. I'm not a business coach.
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like I'm qualified. I've had no training, I guess, other than running a business. It's just warm. But the thing that got me was that when I was running my own business, I think it's slightly changed a bit nowadays, but when I was running my own business, there weren't many people like coaching or mentorship or anything like that actually had run a business themselves.
Yeah.
And you've got all the people that have done the qualifications on how to run a business, and they can run in and tell you how to do your finances and maybe the legals and those kind of things, but none of the actual experience of actually running an MSP.
Yeah.
So I thought, hey, if I've had an experience running an MSP, if I can help you, then yeah, I'm well up for that. And it just kind of snowballed from there. And I think I posted twice on LinkedIn with just like think about doing business coaching. Is anyone interested? Would you want to work with me? I had like 25 messages off the back of that, like those 2 LinkedIn posts.
Wow.
And after running an IT company where you're like banging on about the same kind of stuff over and over again, not a single person's interested, to just sending like 2 things out, and all of a sudden like 25 people want a phone call. It's just, that's just awesome. I wish that could be like that in the IT world.
And I think that goes back to what I said earlier, which is where you were trying to be humble about your content marketing and the videos that you've made. And I think, you put that post out and people have seen you and the quality, and then put that together with, well, hey, he's just grown and sold a business that looks just like mine. So if I'm looking for a coach, he's probably knows what he's on about, I guess.
I think a lot of it is also, there's no promises. I'm not coming in to promise that I'm going to double your turnover or revenue or profits. I've had an experience with an MSP.
Yeah.
The things that I've done may or may not work for other people as well. Video is just probably, I think that's the one thing I say to everybody, just do video. Like this kind of thing it's brand building. It raises your awareness to all your clients and all your prospects and other MSPs out there. It's like the one thing that can get you noticed if you just put a little bit of effort into doing some video. Yeah, big believer of the video side of things.
And a little bit of spicy sauce.
And apparently spicy sauce.
Right, next. Shall we?
You going for it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Da bomb. Good luck.
Why? Oh my God.
In your I'm really sorry we did this. In Not a Business Coach, are you finding that many people are having the same problems when you go from MSP to MSP?
Marketing is a big one because they obviously see all the video stuff. It's in your mouth, isn't it? Oh. But it's interesting. Everyone does it differently. You know, I came from an MSP where you wouldn't outsource anything. But there are plenty of companies that outsource like everything and still are very, very successful. So, yeah.
Many people will know you from your YouTube videos and from your content on LinkedIn. We've already talked about how content marketing has made a big play in like how you're now discovered for that Not a Business Coach. Oh my God. But you've actually now co-founded another business. So you've got Not a Business Coach and you've now founded a video marketing company, or you've co-founded that. Tell me a little bit more about that. I guess, you think so IT MSPs are pretty bad at doing video marketing. Maybe they need a bit of help. You've spotted a gap in the market, maybe. So
I met Jamie and Richard at Datacom, 2019 Datacom. And I was doing an event with them. I was speaking at one of their sessions, or I think it was another session. And I was on stage with them. And they're an MSP marketing company. They just do marketing for MSPs. Really good guys, got on with them really, really well. And then when we sold the business, we just started chatting about things. Then talked about the idea of having a video arm or leg to the business.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, yeah, incredible, because that's like another great business you can run. It fits perfectly into what I'm kind of into and getting better at. So I thought, hey, let's give this a try. Like video marketing, I've got such a big passion for any business, like certainly MSPs because hardly anyone's doing it, but any business to do video, because it's it just elevates your business so fast up above those that aren't yet doing it. You've got your Google AdWords, your SEO, all those kind of organic things. But the video is just one thing that I found just people pay attention to. Yes, you'll spend a lot of money. You spend a lot of time invested in video, not necessarily money, apart from buying the gear to start off with. But it's a big time investment. And I think, as with anything in my life, you set very low expectations, so you're not disappointed.
Yep.
So with video, I always go in and say, look, it's going to be a year, maybe 6 months at a push, but probably a year, if not more, that you'll start seeing like a return on your investment in video. But when you do, it's such a good thing to have, because it's this whole inbound marketing. Going back to that Marcus Sheridan, they ask you answer. It's answering all of your customers' questions, but not just answering your customers' questions. It's the entertainment value. It's teaching them about how you personally do business, more about your staff, how you treat your staff, how you treat your customers. And it's just sharing that little bit of personality with everyone, with the world. And just by doing that, just by putting one video every single week, that's all you need to commit to. One video every week for a year, 2 years, and your life will change in terms of kind of YouTube world. It will change. And that's not just my experience, that's the experience of a lot of people that have had that same experience. But video for MSP, it just made perfect sense. They've already got a team full of people that are experts in MSP marketing. So we went, okay, let's do video now, and let's do it properly. Let's get away from the first video most people think of is the About Us video.
Yeah.
If I want a video, and I had that same thought, that's the one thing I thought we were going to do is the About Us video is going to sit on a web page, tell everyone about our company. It'll be brilliant, and we'll spend like £4,000 or £5,000 on that one video.
Yeah.
Think, cool, okay, great. Then you spend all the money, you have the video, it sits on your website. nothing happens. Like, you feel good about yourself because you've got a really nice shiny video.
Yeah. You'll probably email it to all your customers. Hey,
yeah,
here's our About Us. And they're kind of like...
look at your About Us page and go, yeah, people are watching it because everyone lands on your About Us. You know, the first thing most people do when you go to a website is like the About Us page to find out who they are and then drill into the services. So you feel good about yourself, but you don't get leads off the back of it. But actually, you could take that same spend and spread it across 4 or 5 months worth of putting regular weekly videos out and get a huge amount of videos for that and a much better return on your investment. So it's just that's why I'm so passionate about it. It's genuinely changed my life. I wouldn't be doing anything. I wouldn't be here today if I wasn't doing video marketing.
Yeah.
And using video to grow my business and then turn that into like a YouTube channel after that. So if there's one thing I could say for everybody, it is do video, whether it's for your business, your personal life. I think literally every person should have a YouTube channel. You know, imagine going to employ somebody and they've got a YouTube channel. You can go and just be nosy and see who they are, what they're like.
Yeah.
It's just got so many positives. Everyone should have one.
We've nearly made it.
We have nearly made it.
All right, number 9, Eye of the Scorpion. Let's go.
You good?
It's it just keeps coming back every now and then.
It's on my lips.
That's not bad. Whilst you're recovering from this, you've done so much now. Like you've built a business, you've sold a business, you've established 2 more businesses, and now you kind of spend your days really giving back. Through the 2 businesses that you have. Not a business coach, and through your marketing, continuity marketing, right?
That thing,
right.
yeah.
What really motivates you? What gets Pete out of bed in the morning? What kind of? Because I saw recently on your social channels, you were really enjoying like getting back to the gym in the mornings. Is it the freedom that you've got now? Is it the giving back? What is it that kind of really motivates you?
I think it's the enjoyment. I think this time around, from running my own company now, first time around, you just get straight into it and you're into the day-to-day. But this time around, it's very much on my agenda, my terms. So I set when I'm going to be, I set my working hours. I've got my hour in the morning for gym or whatever it is. Oh, my lips. And so because I'm doing that, it's just so much more enjoyable now. So I'm splitting my week out, which I never did before with my last business. Don't lick your lips. So now I've got like 2 days a week, which is like YouTube, video, scripting and shooting. I've got a day that's like the coaching, or half a day that's like the coaching side of things, creating course content for the course that I've got. I've got a day fully booked for coaching, and then I've got my Fridays are just like catch-up phone calls and those kind of things. But I also then have 2 half days off a week when I can fit that in. That's very warm.
But this
so
sounds,
it's just more enjoyment this time around. That's the main reason.
Is that
why
what
I'm
it
doing
is? Because I was saying, like, that's a very full diary still for someone who's got like so much freedom that you have. So what I'm asking is it that giving back that really like energizes you? Is that where you get your intrinsic fulfillment from, is from that giving back and that teaching? I
think it is. My mindset, as I said earlier, is like could do better.
Yeah.
Whether that's to my detriment or not, because I literally say it with everything. Like I say I come home. I don't come home because I work in the house. But I'll finish the day and we'll have a really great day. Doing really, really well. Like working with tons of people. Like but could just do a little bit better. So it's just and better is like just working with more people and like putting out more content.
Yeah.
And just kind of growing this thing and just seeing what it turns into. I think for me it's much like when you're growing the IT business, you're like in the stuff day to day, and I'm just constantly thinking, if I work a bit harder and a bit more and a bit faster, then it's going to go even further, and we're going to get bigger and have more staff and more customers. So I'm very much a self-confessed workaholic, and particularly I don't think the pandemic helped, because where we're just shut indoors, couldn't go out and do anything. We planned to have like a year off. I think I still did my videos. I think we might have had 2 or 3 months before I started working with my first coaching clients. And then I think there was a 6 months for us where we're like, let's just get back into it again. I'm going to go back to work and start doing things. My lips are burning. Are your lips burning?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm literally breathing out fire.
Yeah.
Let's get this done.
Oh my
because we're on to the last dab. You've done amazing. From someone who came into this and said, you know, I like chocolate, I don't really do spicy food. And I remember the messages that we've exchanged about this that says like, have you tried the sauces yet, Scott? And I'm like, no, I haven't tried these.
You like your hot food.
Yeah, and you're like, don't you think you should try them? I'm like, that will be okay. You are smashing this.
I'm fine now. Well, I'm not fine now. Not sure about this evening. Not sure about the flight home.
Let's get the last one in. Let's do it. Mate, you've made it this far. Amazing. Congratulations. Number 10.
Congratulations.
The last dab. Oh, I'm going to get some more on there. There we go. All right.
Cheers.
Do you know what? That's not bad. I'm going to get a bit extra. There we go. Oh, there it is. Is that quite enough of that?
Let's do the question. Let's do the question.
All right. No, you've survived. You made it. So, woo!
I get a t-shirt.
You do. So we have a whole pack of merchandise for you that literally says, I survived spicy takes. Yeah, so genuinely.
I'm so pleased with myself.
That is amazing. What I want you to do while you're in this chilly high is to this camera over here. So this camera over here, I just want you to do a shameless plug. Just tell us, where can we find you? How do we get in touch with Pete? Tell us about Not a Business Coach, www.notabusinesscoach.com.
Keep going.
Tell us about that. Tell us about continuity marketing. How do we get hold of you? Where can we find you? Give us a shameless plug. Go.
Continuity.uk/something to do with video. Notabusinesscoach.com, youtube.com/Pete Matheson, youtube.com/notabusinesscoach, PeteMatheson.co.uk. If you're an MSP that's watching, I've got a course that I've just made that's like, I think it's £1,000 a year. What am I doing?
I think you're questioning your life choices right now.
My goal is to basically put in £1,000 of value into it every single month, so that you're paying £1,000, you get at least £1,000 back. And I'm also reinvesting money, so if there are things like resources, templates, legal contracts, if there's anything else that you need that you haven't got already, then I'll go out and make them. Yeah.
Good.
That's me.
Pete, thank you so much for being our first guest, shall we say, on Spicy Takes. This has been amazing. I'm Scott Riley. Thank you for joining us for Spicy Takes. Thank you, Pete.
Made it. Touch.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you, everyone behind the scenes. We're out.